Isekai is not cool. Fuck Isekai. Fuck you if you disagree with me. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about some good Isekai series. The ones that have made the most impact during the 2010s were No Game No Life, Sword Art Online, Konosuba, and Devil is a Part-Timer. All these are vastly different from each other, yet for some dumb reason, new creators decided to take the idea from the least likable one. Why? Because it hit the mainstream quicker, made more money quicker. The worlds are the same, the power scaling is the same, the cliches and tropes are all the same, and even the comedy punchlines are the same. So, what makes them so enjoyable? The fact that you can turn off your brain and not really invest your time into these characters. I mean, you can if you want to. There is a reason people go explosion every time they see a Megumin cosplay, but that's purely because something like Konosuba and Devil is a Part-Timer doesn't take itself too seriously most of the time. So what I'm basically trying to say very poorly is that the story doesn't matter. You need your last brain cell activated for these shows. You can ignore Gohan angered on Reddit when he tells every single person on that thread that Kenja no Mago is a good show and that they just don't get it. So keeping all of this in mind, I decided to watch That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. And what the fuck? Good story, interesting world building, and characters you can get emotionally invested in? This sounds wrong, it just feels wrong. However, it's true. Slime Isekai is right now the one Isekai series you don't want to miss out on. I said this is the only Isekai series that matters in my last video to see how many Mushoku Tensei fans would get pissed. But turns out not a lot of people watched that video, so the joke's on me, I guess. Anyway, the story starts off with Satoru Mikami getting killed by a robber when he was meeting a junior from his high school. Wow, that escalated quickly. So in his final words, he asks his junior to delete his browsing history and destroy his hard drive before he gets reincarnated into a fantasy world in the form of a slime. The power system is pretty simple and the entire first two episodes are surrounded around it. He absorbs all of the magic crystals in the dungeon he was reincarnated into, increasing his power level, or in RPG term his EXP. Moving ahead, he meets a dragon who was sealed there by the hero of that world, and that's when the reincarnated Satoru renames himself as Rimuru Tempest and the dragon Veldora Tempest and promises to break the seal once certain conditions of their contract are met. Now I can go off about this anime for an hour, but I'm not gonna do that cause I don't have the time and I know neither do you. So cutting to the chase, the comedy is creatively presented. Even though many of the jokes in the series are the same, the way they build them up are hilarious to watch. The action is very good. I can't stand when the animators go off and draw speed lines to give off the impression that the characters are moving fast. It's not like Slime Isekai doesn't do that, but it's that it doesn't use this every 2 seconds. I have seen fights that go on like this for literally minutes. It's either that or you'll see Goku shout for 5 minutes straight. In here though, you got some wit and flash to the fights, and I respect that. The characters are arguably the strongest part of the series. You don't exactly feel like someone is being annoying or creating issues, except that in season 2 this woman will just mess things up cause reasons. But for the main cast you got really none of that. The core of the series is obviously Rimuru and his basic agenda. While a lot of series will have the system and the worlds already set up, Slime Isekai keeps that undeveloped for the most part, and this is something that's aligned with Rimuru's motivations. With different races of goblins, direwolves, ogres, orcs, lizardmen, and humans building up an entire civilization using the basic architecture knowledge that Rimuru provides them. We also got blacksmiths and scientists to create strong weaponry and potions for the battles. This is something the series continues to build upon and keeps introducing fresh new concepts to the table. The villains are not exactly villains. I don't know what their real agenda is, but in season 2 these 3 got introduced and I just got mad, like really mad during their scenes. So the series does a fine job to piss off the audience in a good way. The music is okay, I guess. There aren't any noticeable tracks in here which are really memorable for me, but if I listen to the opening and ending songs, then I'll immediately recognize that it's this show. They also use this massive bass drop sound effect like doom whenever a big explosion is about to happen, just to clarify that yes, these characters are overpowered. Yes, even the females. So you need to look out for those if you have any hearing problems. One thing that really bugs me in this series is the political system. While these definitely are well-rounded with different level of relations with different cities and treaties and pacts that they agree upon, none of them really take advantage of each other in this situation. That really lowers the risk of the threat surrounding this new civilization Rimuru is building. The main antagonist is something the series has been building upon, but I don't think we're gonna see him in action till season 3 drops. I do suggest turning one or two of your spare brain cells for these political parts because they leave a heavy impact on the story nonetheless. Okay, now for all you degenerates, the fan service. It's here but it's not overdone, don't get your hopes high. Most of the fan service is just build up to a joke and it's like 7% of what the show does. I for one believe that if you haven't tried an anime before, you will easily enjoy that Time I Got Reincarnated as a slime. It's one of the best monkey brain experiences in my opinion. At the same time, I think it's an interesting series overall in which you should invest your time into. I think this is one of the few Isekai series which will actually see an end to the story. As of now, season 2 is ongoing and I think the series has reached its peak. If it can get any better than what it is now, then hey man, no complaints from me. Now to end this video, I have several ideas which will result in possibly some really long ass videos. If everything goes well, then you can expect those, but for now more anime and possibly manga content coming in soon. And for the love of God, try to like the video if you enjoyed and spread my videos around because it really helps me out. It would be low-key wild for me if we hit 50 by the end of this year. Okay, that's it. Bye.